Well, hello everyone. I'm Shawn of webpianoteacher.com. How are you doing today? I'm going to teach you how to play Chris Tomlin's At the Cross. Great song. Let's get right into it. There's a place where mercy reigns and never dies. There's a place where streams of grace flow deep and wide. Isn't that just a beautiful song? I'm going to teach you the whole thing right here. For $1, guys, you can try my new praise and worship course on webpianoteacher.com. $1. But I was trying to decide today which one to give everyone for free on YouTube, and I wanted to give you a really good one. This is the one I chose. I love this song, don't you? I love that it's kind of combines an old hymn with Chris Tomlin's new style, and it's really great. So let's jump right in. The first thing that we want to do, if you follow my stuff, you know we want to find out what key we're in, because that tells us what chords to expect in the song. And as we look at this, we see F minor for the first chord. Now, I always say most of the time the first chord is going to be the key you're in, and that's not the case here. So I'm just going to tell you what key it's in to start with, and we can go from there. It's in the key of A flat. It's got 4 flats, okay? So every time you come across, memorize this word, bead, B-E-A-D. Every time you come across B, E, A, or D, we're going to automatically flat those letters. And I'm going to help you with it. I'm going to show you. But don't be afraid of playing an A flat. A lot of people are afraid of flats and sharps because they think they're harder. They're not. It's just a matter of getting used to playing in that key. God gave us 12 keys. Let's learn to play in all of them, right? Let's stop using that transpose button as a crutch and actually learn to play in those other keys. You're holding yourself back from a wonderful world of music if you only learn to play in a couple of keys. So let's jump in the key of A flat, okay? So our first chord we have is F minor. And F minor is F, A flat, C. Okay, did you know that? There it is. That letter is going to tell me 2 things: what chord to play with my left hand, what octave to play with my left hand, and what chord to play with my right. F, C, F, and then I need F, A flat, C. Now I'm going to play an inversion of that chord, which means I'm still going to play F, A flat, C, but I'm going to move it to a different place and play it in a different order so that it fits my hand better, so it fits what I'm playing better. So A flat, C, F. I'm going to play it right here. That's an inversion. It's still F minor, even though I changed the order of the letters. There it is. You got it? All right. There's a place where on Mercy, I'm going to change chords. Now, I am going to show you guys a more advanced way to play this, but let's first lay the foundation of just seeing where the chords are, okay? And then we'll start to embellish and add some stuff to it. All right. There's a place. Now in Mercy, I need an E flat chord, but in the song, he doesn't put a E flat on the bass. It's one of those more rare times where the bass note is not the name of the chord. Okay, he's going to use G on the bass. So an E flat chord has E flat, G, B flat, right? Well, normally the E flat goes on the bass, but if I put G in the bass, does that change the chord? Does that make it a different chord? Not really. It's still E flat chord, E flat, G, B flat, but it does sound a lot different. So I'm going to notate that here for you guys so that you can see that there's a G in the bass, and it really matters. All right, that's not pretty, but there it is. You can see a G on the bass. Okay, there's a place. Mercy. Now, so I'm going to play a G in the bass, and on the right hand, I'm going to play B flat, E flat, G if I want. I kind of like this better. I like doing B flat, E flat, B flat, and then putting the E flat here too, maybe with my left hand. You got that? You see that? G, E flat, G, B flat, E flat, B flat. So there's a place where mercy reigns. See how that sounds different than this? Place. Mercy. That doesn't sound like it at all, right? Even though it's an E flat chord, if I don't play it in the right inversion with G on the bass, mercy reigns. Now when I get to reigns, I need an A flat chord. So an A flat has A flat, C, E flat, okay? A flat, C, E flat. That's an A flat chord. I'm going to play it in this inversion, C, E flat, A flat, because it fits where I'm going with my playing. And the reason we do inversions is so that it makes our changes sound smooth. If we played everything in root position, we'd be hopping around. It wouldn't be smooth. There's a F minor, mercy, A flat, and never. Now, the music doesn't quite do this, but I like to put never. I like to put an A flat with a C in the bass here. Never die. You can hear it do it a little bit, one note. Okay, they don't quite fully play the A flat chord, but I like doing that. So if you want to do that with me and put a chord there, I'm going to go C on the bass and E flat, A flat, E flat on the right. Never dies. And then on the D flat, I'm going to go A flat, D flat, F, because that's a D flat chord. D flat in the left hand. Remember, that note tells me what octave I'm going to play. Dies. I'm going to show you something cool in a minute on this, how to do this. But first, let's nail down playing that first phrase. And the wonderful thing about this, guys, once you learn that first phrase, you're going to be able to play the next one because it's exactly the same thing because music repeats, okay? All right, so let's get to it. Let's try that first phrase. There's a place where mercy reigns and never dies. You want to do that? Doesn't that sound cool? So here's your D flat chord, A flat, D flat, F. Now I'm going to do this, A flat. I'm going to keep the A flat and do E flat, G. Ooh, it's just a rising harmony third there. E flat and G. And then I'm going to go to A flat, F, A flat. There's a, and then I go back here. So let's try both phrases. There's a place where mercy reigns and never dies. There's a F minor, streams of grace flow deep and wide. Okay, so there we go. We're about to go to the next page, okay? But you should do bite-sized chunks. Some of you may need to stop right here and just work on this first page and play it over and over and over and over and over again until it's kind of automatic. Then you try the next page, okay? And some of you may be good enough you can just move on. You have to decide that for yourself. Now, if you want to play it in a more intermediate or advanced way, you do what I call soft thumbs, where we begin to play the notes we're already on with the chords I just showed you, but you play soft thumbs in between, and you add sort of a little rhythm to it, and it's easier to show you than talk about it. There's a place where the first thing people usually say these days is, slow down, I want to see exactly what you're doing, show me exactly. But that's not how you learn how to do this, guys. You don't learn this by copying down and being a copycat robot and seeing exactly what I did in a moment of time and thinking that, oh, if I can just do what Shawn did that one time, then I'll know how to do that thing. No, you won't. You have to sit down and develop your own rhythm inside you, that rhythm, that drum machine that we all have inside us, that God put in us, that we have to turn on and activate. So I want you to learn the skill that I'm doing so that you do what I'm doing in your own way. And the way you do that is just to sit down and start trying to play some rhythms with these chords, and you just sit down and noodle around. That time you spend with yourself and God just playing and singing and enjoying and worshiping, that time is where you will turn on that drum machine inside you, and you'll start doing what I'm doing. So you'll be doing the skill that I'm doing, and you'll have your own rhythms that you're doing. You don't get there by trying to copy me exactly. So slowing the video down, you may be able to do that, slow it down and do what I did in a moment of time and learn, but that's not going to turn on that skill for you. Okay, some people go their whole lives and never activate that drum machine inside them. So take my advice on that if you would. All right, so I'll do it again. There's a place, mercy reigns, never dies. So you hear me going, if you follow my lessons, you're used to me doing this. I say, let's be silly and do a little beatbox. If you can do that with your mouth, you will be able to do it with your hands eventually, and that's what I'm doing here on the piano. Place, mercy reigns, never dies. There's a place. sounds really silly and stupid, but I guarantee if you can do that with your mouth, wait till nobody's home, okay? You can do it by yourself, then you're not embarrassed. If you can do that with your mouth, you will be able to do it with your hands, okay? All right, so, and it's got to be softer. I said soft thumbs. Dun, dun, dun. So you still have that main beat, 3, 4 that I did at the very beginning, but you have dun, 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 dun. So those notes in between are softer. So if you're doing what I'm doing, you say, it still doesn't sound quite right, that's probably it. You've got to play those extra notes softer, all right? So let's go on to the next page. And here we go. All the love ever found is like a flood flowing down. Oh, yeah. It goes, na-na, na-na, yeah. Like a flood flowing down. I'm going to show you that. Remember that piano part? Oh, you didn't even get to see. Like a flood. Let's see. Where all the love I've ever found comes like a flood, comes flowing down. And then the chorus. So there is that da 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 da, the piano part in Chris's song. I'm going to show you that, but you don't have to do it. You can just stick with playing basic chords, okay? Yeah, when I first turned the page, I was like, I can't remember it just kind of went blank for a second, then I remembered the melody, so thank goodness. All right, I don't have to listen to it right here while I'm on camera. Okay. All the love, E flat. So how do we do that? Let's see, I'm going to go. Never found. E flat, I'm going to do this way. G, B flat, E flat. The E flat chord is E flat, G, B flat, but I'm going to do it in an inversion. All the love, and my E flat tells me the two things. Which octave I'm going to play my left hand, which chord I'm going to play in the right. All the love ever found. Now on the D flat, you have a couple of ways. You can do this, F, A flat, D flat, or A flat, D flat, F. It's up to you, okay? Have an opinion, have a decision how you would like to play that. Try both ways and see which one you like. All the love I've ever found is like a flood flowing down. All right, so if you want to do the ba, 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 that thing right there, all the love. Play your chord first. This is for you more advanced players, okay? If you're a very beginner and you're not ready for this, don't do it yet. All right. All the love, G, A flat, B flat, C. Then you come back here for your D flat. See that? All the love ever found is like a flood flowing down. Okay? But it's totally fine to go. All the love ever found, like a flood goes flowing down. Okay, just to stick with the chords is fine. And I'm already kind of doing the soft thumbs method. So in my way of teaching these things, you start with those block chord quarter notes. Bum. Very plain Jane, plain vanilla, which is a very legitimate way to play. If you see a praise and worship band, you got a lot of instruments in there. The piano's going to be doing a lot of that just basic stuff, because the more people you have in the band, the less you get to have some individuality on being creative and putting things in there, because there's so many people. All right, so just a lot of it will be just straight quarter notes. There is a legitimate way for of playing that way that's fine and good. But then you can try to do those soft thumbs. That's kind of the second level. That's kind of that dipping your toe into the pool of intermediate, okay, where we start to do the soft thumbs. And that's this. All the love ever found is like a flood flowing down. Now I'm going to get a little more advanced, a little more intermediate here for you. All right, so on the E flat, you can also do this. Do an A flat, a suspension, and go back. All the love ever. Now on the D flat, doing an add 9, I can add an E flat in there to add a little color to my playing. All the love ever found, like a flood flowing down. See how I'm adding notes there? Dun, ticka, 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 dun. So I still have the block quarter note way in there. I'm building off the very basic way to do it. And then we do the soft thumbs, and then we start adding those other notes to dress up the chords a little bit, and then you sound like a professional, right? All of a sudden. One more time, then we'll move on. All the love ever found, like a flood comes flowing down. All right, so you do a combination, put that in there. All right, we're going to the chorus, okay? And those of you who are of the beginner type and you're on that block quarter note thing, don't feel bad because you're on that. That's wonderful that you're doing that. Play a lot of songs, a ton of songs that are just that way. Don't try to start adding a bunch of stuff yet. Get a ton of songs that you can do, 20, 30, that you can play in that quarter note block style. And then you begin to start to add the soft thumbs and all that stuff, okay? So it isn't like you go in this one song and you're going to go from beginner to advanced in this one song. Don't try that, okay? Trust me, don't try that. I've been teaching for almost 40 years. Don't try to go from beginner to professional in one song. Stay beginner on about 20 or 30 songs. Play them over and over again. Then you can raise the bar a little bit. Oh, all of a sudden, you are early intermediate on 20 or 30 songs. And then after play a little more, all of a sudden you're doing, the soft thumbs and the changing the chord up a little bit, dressing them up like I showed you on 20 or 30 songs. That's how it works. That one song is not going to take you to the top. I'm sorry. It won't. And I'd hurt your feelings a little bit, but some people, I just want to tell you the truth, how it works, how we learn, okay? All right, so now let's get to the chorus. Love this part because it's like the hymn, At the cross, where I can't see it, hold on. At the cross, I surrender my life. I'm in awe of you. I'm in awe of you. Where your love ran red, all my sin washed in white. I owe to you. I owe to you, Jesus. We're going to do a lot of fun things in this, okay? But let's start with our simple block quarter note thing, because even if you are intermediate or advanced, you are going to build off of what I'm going to show you. Don't get too high and mighty and full of yourself that you can't sit and learn the block chords, because they are the foundation of everything else you might do, okay? There's a foundation that doesn't change. You may learn it faster than most people, and that's good, but you still need it. At the cross. So we're getting up high here. A flat, D flat, F. I'm going to play my D flat chord this way. At the cross, I surrender my life. So A flat, we can just do right here. A flat, C, E flat. My life, I'm in awe of you. Okay, and hang on. We'll show some ways to make it fancy in a minute. G, B flat, E flat, left hand on E flat, B flat, E flat. I'm in awe of you. I'm in awe of you. On the B flat, I'm going to add a 7. Let me write that if I can. Okay, so if you guys follow my stuff, a lot of times I like to add sevenths on those minor chords. They just make them sound cool. And I think they actually do it in the song. And the chord sheets are never exactly right. So I just kind of take one that's close and I mark it up. That saves time rather than trying to start over. Trust me on that. All right, so B flat minor 7. So if we look at that chord, B flat, D flat, F is B flat minor. But if I do a 7th, I'm adding a note to it. See, this is the root, the 3rd, the 5th of the chord. 7 is that extra note that I'm adding. B flat, D flat, F, A flat. Okay, so if I play it this way, A flat, D flat, F, B flat, I have all my notes. Watch, I can spell it. B, D, F, A. I still have everything there, though it's mixed up. It's still there, and it sounds pretty cool. It sounds better, I think, than just a straight B flat minor to have the A flat. Okay, so back at the top. At the cross, I surrender my life. I'm in have some repeating stuff. We've already learned this. Woohoo! We already know how to do it. When your love ran red and my sin washed white, I owe to you. I owe to you, Jesus. So that's D flat. So the rest of it, the second half of it is like the first half was. So music repeats. So once you learn, sometimes you learn one measure and you kind of know the whole song. Really, some songs are written that way. Okay, so the first plan on this is to play it just straight quarter note block chords. Get used to it where you don't have to stop. If you can't play it and not have to stop, you're not ready to put the thumbs in there yet, okay? And again, don't want to hurt your feelings. I want you to understand how to practice. Most people quit because they don't know how to practice and they don't know which songs to pick, okay? And you got to have a direction here, and I'm trying to give you that direction. So stay on those quarter note block chords until you don't have to stop, till you can sing it or someone else is singing with you, and you don't have to stop. Then you can start doing the soft thumbs and adding them, okay? Now let's look at how we might do that. So just the block quarter note way, at the cross, I surrender my. Okay, we've done that. Now do the soft thumbs. Now people usually are their left hand. They feel like their left hand is holding them back. They feel like, I can't get my hands together. My left hand stinks. That's not the problem. The problem is that you don't have hand cooperation. You don't want hand independence. People say that. You want hand cooperation. When a drummer plays a beat, and that's what you're doing, guys, you're playing the drums on piano. We have an amazing instrument. It's not like any other. We have some limitations, but it can do things that no other instrument can. So we're playing drums on piano. When you see a drummer play, they need both hands. And if you took one hand away and put it behind their back and said, okay, just play one hand, you need hand independence, they'd be like, what? Now, there are exercises that drummers will do with one hand, but when they play an awesome beat, they're feeling both hands and both feet as one thing. That's how they feel it. And that's how you feel it when you're playing on the piano with two hands, and you need both hands to practice this. So you need to, I like to get a set of bongos. I have some bongos here on the floor, and I'll just turn up the praise and worship song loud, just let it, just fill the house with it. Get your bongos and start playing on it, doing some rhythms. Remember in junior high, we'd all bang on the desk, at lunchtime, just playing around. We were pretty good. But that's what we're doing. And we're just playing with the music, and we're letting the creative drum machine inside us let God activate that by practicing on the rhythm. And then when you go back to the piano, you'll see amazing things that you never knew you could do. All right. But it's a both hand thing, and it's where you feel both hands together in the rhythm. You'll feel both hands as one. Right. So that's the key to it. And it's dun, 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 dun. At the cross, I surrender my life. Now, when you first start the soft thumbs, it'll sound like this. See how that's a lot less, but that's where you have to start. That's how you kind of ease into it. And then you'll get more adventurous as you get into it, and all of a sudden you'll just be jamming, okay? All right. So to dress this up, if I did one time through, not doing anything particularly fancy with the chords, but just playing cool rhythms. At the cross, I surrender my sin. I'm in awe of you. Now, if I want to add some stuff to it, here's what I can do. On the D flat, I can add that E flat again. Maybe I'll even do this. A flat, E flat, A flat. At the cross, I surrender my life. On the A flat, I can do this. I can add a B flat. It's called add 9, okay? I don't want to get into the specifics of it, but when you add that E to the D, E flat to the D flat, that's the same thing. You're doing an add 9 on the A flat, add a B flat. I surrender my life. I'm in awe of you. On the E flat, I like to do a suspension, and then go back to G. I'm in awe of you. I'm the B flat minor. What can we do? You could add an E flat. You notice sometimes I'm rolling the chord down. Da, 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 da. Look, at the cross. Ba, 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 ba. I'm rolling it down. So you can roll it up too. E flat, all of you. I'm in all of you, Jesus. Right, so you can dress up those chords in the way I just showed you. You can change your octaves at the cross. If you want. All right, so the verse 2. Let's go through it. We've already done verse 1, so you already know the chords. Let's see some different things we might do as we go through verse 2. There's a place, let's see, place, sin and shame, powerless, where my heart, peace and God, fearless. Sorry, I'm not singing it exactly right. I'm concentrating on the playing. Well, you can go to sort of an eighth noting, or it's more 16th note. This is the thing, that the way of playing that most people are just blown away by, but it's not really, there's not really much to it. All I'm doing is taking the chord that I already showed you. I might be adding those couple of notes I showed you to do add nines, but I'm just basically go da 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 da, and just mixing, just going around and playing whatever note comes out in those 16th notes. And it'll work as long as you stay on the right chord and as long as you change when it's time to change to the next chord. Okay, so I might do something like this. There's a place. Go fast, there's a pain. Forgiveness. What does it sound like up high? There's a place, sin and shame. Now, this is very advanced here. I went from intermediate, now we're in more of an advanced stage here. So this is if you're a really solid, high-level intermediate and you want to begin dipping your toe in the pool of more advanced stuff, you're able to do that. But if you're not to that middle yet, you don't try the the really hard stuff yet, okay? Because you have to have the middle part just kind of a part of you. You have to have that where it's just easy for you, and then you can try to advance it to those other areas. But you have to do the work on the lower levels, okay? Now, let's go to, it would go to the pre-chorus and the chorus, but after that is the bridge. Let's take a look at the bridge. So it's just the chords we've already done, and we're just going through them. D flat, F, A flat, B flat, D flat. It's the chords we already know, and you're just here. He's up high. I'm not going to try to sing high right now. Here, F minor. Sing this down. It's a good one. This is a good place to practice that roll down. One, da da da. Do a roll down. The add 9 and back to the D. F minor. That's all I can think to show you here on this. And just remember what level you're in. There's kind of 3 big ones. There's that beginner stage, and that's you can play for a long time and still be in the beginner realm. Okay, and then there's that intermediate, which covers a wide space as well. And the advanced is kind of that top of the pyramid part where not everybody makes it up there. And you don't have to. I mean, you watch praise and worship bands, a lot of the stuff they're playing is not hard. It's just you got to learn the chords, and then you're okay, and that's fine. And I love that about praise and worship music is that it's not exclusive. Everyone can do it. So, yeah, check out my website, $1. You can do the praise and worship course. Hope you guys enjoy this free lesson. I'm happy to give it to you, and we'll talk to you later.